with massive questions to answer on the question of trade. The economic fortunes of the US and the UK have diverged in Q1. In the United States, the economy was stronger than predicted at a 2.3 annualized growth rate. The US does it on an annualized basis. It's a different story for the UK, which only expanded 0.1% over the last quarter. It does it Q on Q, but not on an annualized basis. The government in the UK blames the cold weather. The statistics agency says that's not the case. When you look at the UK, it's looking for a free trade agreement with the US in its post-Brexit world. Shanker Singham says the US needs that agreement as well. He's the director of international trade at the IEA, the International Institute for Economic Affairs. Why? The US. Why does the US need a free trade agreement or a good trade agreement with little UK?
Well, I think one of the things that's happening here is the US needs to have a positive trade policy going forward. It can't all be about withdrawing from trade agreements and being more limited and slapping tariffs on various products. Now, the UK is a country that bilaterally could do a deal with the US. We are roughly equivalent economic power in terms of economic growth and so forth. There won't be a race to the bottom. There won't be an export of US jobs. And therefore, it's one of the few countries that bilaterally we don't have a deficit with the US. It's one of the few countries that the Trump administration can actually say, yes, we want to do a trade deal with the UK. And if that trade deal can actually lead to positive liberalising initiatives that benefit third countries as well, then that is a very good thing for all parties.
The UK government has ruled out customs union.
Mm-hmm.
If they rule out customs union, how do you get a preferential trade deal with the EU that allows for other access, say, for example, of the US?
Well, that is obviously the key point that we need to solve here. The UK has to be out of the customs union and out of the single market because it needs to have control over its tariff schedules and it needs to have regulatory autonomy. If it doesn't have those things, then it can't do a trade deal with anybody. So that's a sort of prerequisite of doing a deal with the US or indeed doing any trade deals with any other country. Now, at the same time, we want to do a trade deal with the European Union. So from March of 2019, when we come out of the EU and we enter into this implementation period, we'll be negotiating with the EU. And what we want to do in the UK, I think, is to have a maximum mutual recognition with the EU that enables us to have a deal with other countries, which is the normal trading system standard, is to have recognition. Ultimate regulatory objectives could be the same, but that should not a difference in those.
Will not work for one simple reason: Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to keep that border open, frictionless. You can't. I mean, I know you know all of this, and the only reason I'm throwing it at you is because everybody's trying to square a circle that will not square.
Yeah, so the issue with the Irish border, and that is being used by the EU, frankly, to sort of drive a wedge here so that the UK cannot have the requisite tariff schedule control and regulatory autonomy, can actually be solved. First of all, you need to understand that the level of trade across the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland is very much high-frequency, low-volume trade. So you have the Republic of Ireland's major trade is with mainland GB, Northern Ireland's trade is with mainland GB, and there is high-frequency, low-volume trade between the two. There is, of course, a border between the two, between Northern Ireland and the Republic now. There's a border for tax, there's a border for VAT, there's a border for lots of things. Our task here is to ensure there isn't hardening of the border, that there is an open border that is maintained.
Okay,
and you can do that in a number of different ways.
Hang on. I'm reminded of the words of John Major, who said when he was Prime Minister and was asked a really knotty problem about Northern Ireland, he said, if there were any easy answers, don't you think we'd have found them by now? And that's the same with Northern Ireland, the customs union, the single market, and Brexit.
Yes, there are no easy answers. There's also no silver bullet, but there are a lot of things that you can do. For example, you can move technical checks away from the border. You can have we already have a common travel area. We have a single electricity market. You have a common area for meat trade. The only reason to have border inspection posts on the border is the sanitary and phytosanitary health measures. You can have a common area for that. And you can treat the small micro enterprises differently.
Right.
You can allow that trade to go forward, and you can have a trusted trader program for the limited number of traders who are large traders. So there's only, for example, 53 non-SME companies that trade from Northern Ireland into the Republic of Ireland. So you can do a very tailor-made trusted trader program for them. So you can do all of these things, but it's incumbent on us, I think, to suggest these things to the European Union and say, well, if you truly want to have a creative solution to the border problem, which you said that you did want to do, then you tell us why you need to put infrastructure on the border. The head of HMRC.
Sir, we will have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.